Sipping on that squirt. I be in the crib sipping squirt. When it comes to crack selling, I'm the expert. Yeah. Mess with my money, you gon' get hurt. Press you with the iron like a dress shirt. Keep my circle small like Lil Uzi Vert. Stack my money tall like the Twin Towers. But the towers fell down to the ground. Okay. Whew. What happened? We back. We are so back. Oh, dude, I'm so sore from my winter arc. Oh. I'm literally like Guts, man. I'm like Guts if he came from a 2-parent household. And if instead of going through the most traumatic situations imaginable, he got like curved by a girl and now he goes to the gym. Now he lifts weights. I'm practically the struggler is basically my point. I'm sure what Guts would do is he would take a shirtless mirror selfie. My winter arc. Look, I don't want to sound all supremacist like I'm better than these people. Whatever, I'm not. Whatever makes you whatever gets you motivated, fine. You know what? But there's no denying you're a cornball. Like, you're corny as fuck for that. Your Guts? Why? Because you go to the gym? Going to the gym is actually, it's pretty fucking easy. Like, I don't really want to, unless it's a hard leg day, like, it's pretty actually a relaxing and easy thing to do. You take pre-workout and you blast music the whole time. All right, here's a question. I was already ranting. Okay, this is my first time doing this kind of thing. I'll try to keep it short. Word. I had the random thought pop into my head. Why is everyone all of a sudden acting like a main character out of a video game or anime? Obviously, I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but I think you get the idea of what I'm talking about, at least on social media. Maybe things have always been like this, and people just acted this out via creative outlets, or maybe more likely, it was smartphones that created a new kind of virus that spreads via ideas and aesthetics, if that makes any kind of sense. Yo, word. Like, people are transporting reality through fiction to the point that it induces schizophrenia. Shit, bro, that's crazy. Nah, but I thought this was poignant. I noticed this. It, like, articulated what I had in my brain, you know what I'm saying? So, I've seen this. Yes, it is a thing, especially in this generation. Maybe it's always been a thing to a certain extent, but this main character syndrome, as it's been dubbed, is a specifically Generation Z and most likely Generation Alpha phenomenon. And is this necessarily a bad thing? Well, I'm not going to act like it doesn't have certain advantages. It could definitely motivate you. It could definitely help you out, maybe mentally. But I think, like, not to overuse the word cope, I think this is by definition like a coping mechanism. That's what it is. And the first obvious reason this is happening has to do with media, how Zoomers interact with media. Firstly, how we interact with fiction. We have like a new level of escapism where things like comic books and anime and shows are more prevalent and more kind of they're more extreme. It's a different level of escapism as compared to different generations. You should go watch a play or go see a movie or catch a program every once in a while. It's different now. So that's one thing. The whole archetype of a main character is relatively new, as all these young people are always ingesting this kind of fantasy. And then another thing is just social media, how it creates this sort of voyeurism, this narcissism. It offers the perfect platform for this kind of thing, and it feeds this, I guess you could call it a pathology. But that's That's not very interesting. That's obvious. But another thing has to do with individualism and a sort of isolation. By the way, I don't know anything, okay? So these are just my thoughts. They're food for thought. It's for entertainment. Hopefully you get something out of this, whatever. But I have to speak with conviction. Otherwise, I just sound like a bitch. It's not interesting to listen to. The second thing has to do with individualism or a kind of isolation. If you were to imagine like a person and they're surrounded by concentric circles. In the closest circle, you have your family, then your friends, then extended, acquaintances, then something like a town, a neighborhood, a city you're from, a place, then maybe a religious or ideological identity or a country. The circles keep on going out. These are what construct someone's identity and their sense of being, belonging. We've come to a point now where these things have just like collapsed in to where you can end up with just a solitary person, not surrounded by any of these concentric circles. And or they're weakened, you know what I mean? They're not really there. Hence, this is where the term atomization comes from, referring to a single atom rather than this atom being a part of a molecule and this molecule being a part of a larger object, right? And when you get to this point where you're this person and you don't have these larger circles connecting you to other people, connecting you to something larger, you begin to maybe construct this world mentally around yourself, or you begin to see with this less social trust and social cohesion, it can seem like it's just you. It's just you against the world. And there's this kind of idea promoted by this self-help culture and this individualism that posits every boy can become this hero, but it really just sets them up for isolation and failure, because not everybody can become a Chad. You are kind of just you. Anyway, this is where the idea of an NPC comes from. You walk down the street and you think, oh, look at all these NPCs. You see all these people, oh, they're all NPCs. Well, that's probably just because we're not connected anymore. You don't talk to any of these people. In reality, they're not NPCs. Every person you drive by on the highway has their own story, their own life, their own characters. And this wouldn't be such an uncomfortable idea if we were more connected, if we had this cohesion. But it is. It's scary. It's concerning because that's when you realize everyone else, just like you, is trying. And there's this sort of hyper competition now where we're all competing for the same things. Let me chill for a second. That's the ironic thing about it, is that when you're on this highway, there's probably another person out there, maybe not consciously, maybe not all of this is conscious, but in a way thinking that they're the main character and you're the NPC, but you're thinking the same thing. Whoa, dude, what the fuck? There's definitely a way in which all of this is linked to self-improvement. The way main characters seemingly have this endless ceiling of growth. But real life isn't like that. That's the tough part about it. You don't keep unlocking new abilities and keep on getting larger and larger. It's not like solo leveling, if you know what that is. The guy this loser guy gets this ability. He goes, does a 5 kilometer run, does some push-ups, then he comes back, he gets more like attractive and taller, he levels up. It's not like that. And it gets to this delusion because men, when society does not care about them, these lonely men, they're so vulnerable for grifts that say they can give them back their masculinity or their social status. It's sad. It's crazy stuff. It's not like that. Things like looks maxing. I've talked about looks maxing before. I gotta rant about it again because I get the thing where it's like, yes, looks do matter. They determine how you're treated in a lot of ways. It's a tragic fact of human life. But there's a difference between acknowledging this and then reinforcing it. And when it comes to looks maxing, like, yeah, if you look better, you get treated better, so you should looks max. Seems simple, right? Well, not really, because looks maxing, it basically doesn't exist. It's basically a hoax. You look into things like mewing. Mewing is what everybody who was not a mouth breather they've already been doing that. It's the default tongue posture. You think for thousands and thousands of years people have not been doing it right, and then this one British guy comes out and he's like, oh, here's how you do it. No. It can help people who are mouth breathers, but that's it. It doesn't give you it's fake. It's not like a scam, but there's so much misinformation around it. There is really no looks maxing. It's a hoax. It doesn't exist. There's only being fit, eating right, taking care of yourself, and then that's you. There's no leveling up after that. You're just you. And you have to live with that. Once you get your style, once you eat right, once you're in shape, that's it. Once you're lean, that's pretty much it. And anything else is just so minimal, like little min-maxing, that's not going to have any difference on your SMV. Because to anybody who's either not stupid or not delusional, the hugest amount of empirical evidence shows us that it's all so determined by your genetics. This is you just have to be coping. If you're not going to acknowledge it, it would fly in the face of so much evidence. So that's what it is. But this main character thing is ironic. It is just so ironic in multiple ways. I mean, you think you're the main character, but really it's like that meme where you zoom out and it's all the Buzz Lightyears on the wall. Like, that's what this is. That's what all these people who think they're... that's what it is. And it goes deeper because Buzz Lightyear in the movie thought he was like a hero, but he's really just a toy. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But it's also ironic in that the main characters, they always have a higher purpose. Like they're saving the world. They're doing something higher than themselves. But it seems that all this pathology, this main character syndrome, is purely vain and selfish, not directed towards anything above themselves, towards restoring, towards helping other people, something like that. It seems to be just about self-improvement, endless self-improvement. Self-improvement for what? Because the easiest way to explain the kind of market we're in is it's maximum competition for minimum results. Because when you look at self-improvement, a lot of it is driven by women, right? That's why men do these things, these competitions, these dominance games, this growth. It's not just improving yourself for yourself. It's not improving yourself just for the hard work. In the vast majority of cases, and I know this because of how it manifests. I know this because of like the edits, the shirtless mirror pictures. It manifests in this way that's clearly not about anything aesthetic or it's clearly about the poon, right? And in that regard, you're competing, your maximum competition for less of a reward for a postmodern woman, which isn't, which in the vast majority of cases, you know, and boomers had it the opposite. Like, they weren't doing all this shit, and the women were, like, a lot better. Just keeping it J real with you, dog. It's ironic. It is ironic. It's ironic in many ways. It's I had one more thing. Let me get my notes. Hold on. Yeah, it's ironic in that main characters often don't recognize they're the main character, right? So that's like, that's a weird. There's like cognitive dissonance, you know. None of the actual main characters, they're not under the impression that they're like the world revolves around them. That's what often gives them a quality of endearment. And I mean, you can't. It's evident to me that this stems from a broken dating market. Really. Because when dudes get heartbroken, when dudes can't get in the door, or they get broken up with, they just start coping like this. Like they can't handle it. Their wiener just like goes up to their brain, and they just go crazy. Like, oh, I'm guts now. It's like, nah, man. I don't know. I think you just got. I think you just took an L, you know. I think you just, you know, hoes gonna be hoes. It doesn't mean you're the struggler. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's wild. There's this endless competition for scraps. You know, the whole paradigm, the whole market is broken. Women are supposed to look pretty for you. You know what I mean? Like, just because you know you look smacks and you think you're gaming the system. Like you're not. You're kind of just being gay. You're kind of just being a gay idiot. You're just you're another rat. You're another Buzz Lightyear figurine on the endless wall of them. You know, the guys I know that have actual successful relationships, or the few young guys I know that are married. There are guys I know that, you know, there are guys that get girls but live like a promiscuous lifestyle, and you know, they're just like these guys who are more attractive and can make it. But the guys I know who have actual relationships that are normal guys, you know, they don't have to be this 6'2" hunter eyes, who get in relationships that are actually healthy and last long. They don't look smacks. They're not gym cells. They don't know about any of this shit. They don't use the internet that much. They're kind of just dudes that are out there, and that's what actually gives them their value, is because all these mass-produced packaged things on the internet, well, they become cheap when that happens, right? At what point does going to the gym, it's no longer like a unique thing that really boosts you. It's now like almost a requirement, or like something that loses its actual purchasing, you know, value. So, yeah. You know, they wouldn't know about it. You know, I could say mogging in front of these guys. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, good, you're normal. That's great. you know. So that's just how it goes, man. Peace out.